In this video, we are going to discuss how you should go about laying a foundation of success as you prepare to build and launch your new campaign. Now, I know that everybody just wants to dive right into the meat and get to the strategy, but I believe before we do that, it is critically important for you to understand what kind of messaging you're going to have and how to lay a foundation of success. And now the day goes by without some advertiser asking me, what is it going to take to make my campaign more successful? And it all starts with you having to make some choices and then laying that foundation for success. Now, at risk of oversimplifying this, it really comes down to just making one of two choices. So let's start with choice number one. This is going to be hard work, but it is going to cost you a lot less money. Choice two, well, that's actually kind of easy, but get ready to dig deep and maybe even execute that line of credit. So, choice number one, this is where you have to take the time to create a truly meaningful, compelling, relevant message. And here is the really hard part of this. You then have to focus all of your time and all of your resources and deliver your message to your most prized customer and forget about everyone else. Now, that message is going to need to be unique to your market and should offer the consumer a big, bold promise. Now, choice two, this is where you just forget about developing a meaningful message, but go to work and try to outshout and outspend every other competitor that's out there in your market. Now, unfortunately, this seems to be the neighborhood that most automotive advertisers reside in. They create a pretty basic message with claims and offers that pretty much every other dealer is saying. They then expect instant results and usually get mad at the media company when the campaign fails. Now, my advice, since you can always just spend more money, why not at least try to come up with a meaningful message that is going to resonate with your targeted customer? Now, I will admit, finding that unique message is hard work. You are going to need to be honest with yourself when assessing how good you and your dealership really are at whatever it is you think you're good at. I've often referred to this as picking your lane. Pick that product line or that customer base that you can serve exceptionally well and just forget about everybody else. Dealers that try to be all things to all people end up becoming nothing and getting lost in the sea of sameness. Now, not sure where to even start? Well, here's 3 pointers that'll get you on your way of picking your lane and then creating that unique message. First up, you got to decide what niche or service you are even capable of fulfilling. You have to start by asking yourself a few questions. What is it that you are really good at? What can you provide and be the very best at? Is there a segment in the market that is not being served that you are able to fill? Please just don't glance over this. Spend some time figuring out what consumers really want and what you are really good at, and then build your whole message and your entire campaign around that core position. Now, word of caution here. Before you go and call up your friendly media sales rep, you're going to need to analyze if this market is even important to consumers. You could be the best widget maker on the planet, but if nobody wants your widgets, you are just wasting all of your time and all of your money. Now, next up, you are going to have to create a plan that will demonstrate your superior position. Let's pretend for a minute you want to be the truck king in your market. You are going to need to offer, stock, and display more trucks than anybody else. You're also going to have to provide faster delivery than anybody else. Being the lowest price guy with almost instant credit approval can only help your cause. And know this, consumers will be paying attention. You can't just say it, you are going to have to prove it every single day. And last up, you are going to need to put together a quick response team that will help you build an ongoing assault. You'll have to empower your team with the ability to make decisions. Now, if you're a smaller dealer, take full advantage of being able to act quickly. The current king is probably bigger and a lot slower to respond. And just sometimes, the spoils of marketing warfare go to the most agile. Now, whichever route you ultimately choose to take, know that consumers really don't care how many ads you run. They only care about one thing, and that is how you can benefit them. But if you do choose to skip all the hard work and just go with option 2, I will lead you with one of the oldest marketing adages of all times. He who says it loudest and longest usually wins.